Okay, so this video gonna be another tattoo talk video, and I want to talk especially today about micro tattoo, the smallest tattoos, and they, what is the good thing with them, what is the bad thing with them. So we have to understand something that is very important with tattoos is that tattoos heal over time. They some tattoos heal better than other tattoos for different reasons, different colors, different line work, different shading, and all this kind of thing. So even big tattoos like whole back tattoos or whole sleeve or whole stomach tattoos, maybe like 60 or 80 years later will not look as good as they do when they was done, and so on. And then you have to compare that with a little tattoo, like a little micro tattoo with lots of detail, with a big tattoo with lots of detail. Obviously, the tattoos when it's bigger will hold up much better than the smaller one. Even if, because if you have so much detail in some little piece, like this little piece, like so big piece, and you compare it with a big Japanese back piece, with clouds and dragons and tigers and lightning and all this kind of thing, is much easier to make a big tattoo hold up much longer, because you can make everything much bolder, and you can see it much clearer on if you have it on your skin, and if you have a smaller one. Obviously, I don't say in this video in any way that small tattoos are not good. I just say that bigger tattoos will hold up much longer on your skin than smaller tattoos will. And that is what I say. So if you like small tattoos, that is what you like. I absolutely much prefer bigger tattoos. If I can, I always want bigger. Bigger for me is better. I don't say that is, for my personal opinion, is bigger better. I don't say that is the case for everything. I just say for me personally, I like much more the more big one, because I want to see my tattoo very clear. I want to have much details, and I want to have a very big one. So I want to like you can see it from far away. Like if you have a small one, you cannot see it far away. Even if you go to the best tattoo artist in the world make that specific styles of tattoos, you cannot see a little black drop with some painting inside the drop from miles away. You can see it with a big one. If you have a big wall back piece and you have good shading, you will see much better, and so on. So, and that also tattoos. So I always do. We always have to compare tattoos from the start to 6 years later. For example, my tattoos maybe will not look as good maybe 3 years ago, 3 years from now. I don't know, but 3 years is just, then you have more years after that with works on everything, and we have to see how long can you have your tattoo before you have to touch it up again. That is the thing. You have to understand a tattoo costs money. If you want to do a good tattoo, you have to spend money on it. You don't want a tattoo you have spent maybe $100,000 on, and then you have to go back again to the studio maybe 1 year later and spend maybe half of that price, but just fix the tattoo. You don't want that. You want a tattoo that you can have as long as possible on your skin before you touch it up. That is the thing here. It's like it means nothing with a tattoo if it just looks good 1 year, then it just go back to the studio and fix it. It means nothing. For example, when I do my first biggest tattoo, when I use sample, many times when I use take the color purple do not work on me. So I don't gonna do purple again, because it's waste of time, it's waste of money, it's a waste of time. I don't want to go back to the studio and do the same color that do not work. It's just waste of time, and that is what I mean. It's better to do a tattoo and you see, okay, this size is super good, this color works, okay, we stay with this, we stay in this circle, and so on. So I know for now what color will work on me. So I don't gonna try different colors because I don't want to come back to the studio again and fix the same old tattoo. I want to do a new tattoo when I come to the studio, when I get my tattoos. And that is just why I think. So my personal opinion, I I, I do not like so much the small tattoos because it's okay. It's one thing when you have a small tattoo, a little like a teardrop. It's one thing with a teardrop, just a teardrop. But if you have lots of detail inside the teardrop, it's much more complicated because how then you have to be very careful how that be healed on the skin, and then it's just then maybe you see maybe 2 years maybe it can looks good. Maybe how about 10 years from then, and so on, and this kind of thing. And obviously that is also a trend. That is the problem here also with tattoo with that kind of style. If something is a trend, many people want to do it, but when the trend is past about that style, then you have to understand. So it's better to do something you want to do, and you know what you do is going to stay on your skin for the rest of your life, and you're going to be happy with it, and not just do something that just looks flashy and trendy, and you just jump on the train, and just then it's just train is going to be fall off of the rail, and this kind of thing. So that is what I mean. So I mean is that simple way is for me it's better to have bigger tattoos because they're gonna hold up longer on the skin. And obviously this is just because lots of people talk about this right now is because of what one of the tattoo artists in the Ink Mag say about what he think about small tattoos, like small micro tattoos. And obviously some people get angry what he say because he say he think them are not going to stay as long on the skin because have too much detail and they are too small. But that is the thing here. They are tattoo artists. Their job is to make tattoos for customers. Their job is to know what will work or not work for what can work, what is not gonna work well. It's like there is a reason why you go to a tattoo artist. You go there to get a tattoo. You don't go there to know. Obviously, if you know more than a tattoo artist, then you should work in the store. That is the point here. It's like same any work. If you go to a restaurant, you don't gonna know more than the person that work in the restaurant that makes the food. And that is what I mean with the tattoo artist. It's the same thing. And obviously, some tattoo artists that make micro tattoos are good artists. Absolutely, they are good artists, and so on. But is because it's just a trend today with tattoos. With every style is a trend. It's a big trend with tattoos. So obviously, tattoos today is more what looks good today than what looks good 12 years later. If you understand what I mean, yeah. So when you do a tattoo, you want your tattoo to look the coolest, and then it's that. What every people say, wow, what cool. But then it's almost like the dinner snack, and then it's over. You don't gonna think about 60 years from then when you get the tattoo. You're just gonna think what happened today when you get the tattoo and so on. So obviously that is a trend. It's a trend because everything that have a trend with over people want the same version of that the style of the trend because it's trendy. If micro tattoos are not trendy, nobody not gonna do it. They don't gonna do micro tattoos because they probably think that it's the best tattoos that exist just because it's a trend. That is with everything that belongs to a trend and so on. And obviously, if you think about like Ink Mag, Ink Mag is a magazine, and Ink Mag works with trendy things. They don't gonna put in, even if the tattoo you have is amazing. If that tattoo is not trendy, it's not gonna be put in the magazine because they are not trendy. So the only thing they're gonna put in is trendy things like the newest rapper, the newest model. They don't, just gonna do the trendy thing. For example, if there's a movie with Batman, they're gonna do a tattoos with Joker, and they're gonna make many different tattoos about Joker and Batman. Or is a tattoo very popular tattoo with James Bond? They're gonna do James Bond tattoos. Or is a popular thing, everything that is popular and trendy about the tattooing thing will be put into the ink mag. So that do not mean they are the best thing. They just mean they are the most trendy thing. Like trendy and best is different things, and so on. So I have to say it again. Do not have anything against micro tattoos. Absolutely not. It's not my cup of tea of tattoos, and I have nothing against it. If people can make micro tattoos that would stay 60 years, the same as good as it was from the start, hallelujah. My personal opinion, I'm still gonna stay with the old school trend and say I like much more bigger tattoos. But other people think it's different matter, and so on. But yeah, I know that is everything will have its time. Even the best, biggest tattoos with the most reconciliation to it will still everything will get old. So your skin gonna get old. So for example, if you have a little teardrop with a Da Vinci inside it, Da Vinci painting, a sculpture, Leonardo da Vinci, how will that tattoo teardrop looks on your skin when you are 90 years old compared when you are 18 years old? It's not going to be the same. Even big tattoos, if you look at old people with big tattoos, it's not going to be it's very blurry. Think about how that will look on the small one. And so obviously, so if, for example, if you go to if you have paid the same price for a little tattoo like a teardrop detail as the same price for a sleeve, is for me personally ridiculous, because you pay for something that's much smaller, but with very small details. So, and that is just that thing. So obviously that is just my opinion about everything, and I think everybody do what they want. Everybody do what they want to do. They do what they want to do, but there's always a consequence. You can, for example, I know, for example, if I do a color tattoo, and the color tattoo I use will get is too bright, the ink is too bright, then will not work. But I can just say ignore that and just do lots of bright color, lots of white ink in it, lots of white ink, and it will look like shit when they heal, because it's not gonna work. So yeah, I think it's a trendy thing. People go to it because it's a trendy thing, and people, when they take the picture, they put picture on the tattooist take the picture, put on the portfolio on his Instagram and her Instagram site also. So you're gonna just take a picture, but the picture is the picture when you do the tattoo. The tattoo maybe gonna look totally different 2 or 3 or 4 years later from the picture, and how it healed up on the skin. So when you see a tattoo, you see it when it's new. Often of the time you see it when it's new, and the picture is not gonna be that when the scabs fall off and all this kind of thing when they heal. And this is the thing, you have to find the same picture of the tattoo you have, and you have to see, this tattoo you see now in the magazine, how do that tattoo looks today in comparison, and so on. This is picture is if you take a picture or something, the picture can be maybe 10-year old, but and so it's totally different with the picture again, obviously, with size and so on. So it's very important. It's just that it's like, yeah, different things will heal up. So it's not the small thing that is, I think, is the problem. It's not that. It's the detail in the small thing is going to be the problem, because it's one thing if you make something in with crystals or diamond, like you make a small detail like in stones. It's one thing because they're not going to change. But if you put a small thing on your skin, it's other thing, because then it will change, because they go into your skin, and the healing process is different from your skin is different from other material, and this kind of thing, and something. But yeah, like it's a trendy thing. People ignore this kind of thing. People do not care about what is will work for a long time, what is held up for a long time. They just want something that is trendy, and that is the thing here, is that it's a different, tattoos today is different what it was for a long time, how tattoo was a long time ago. It was before, like ancient time, tattoos was like a symbol of valor and honor, example in the battlefield. Now today, tattoos is more like a luxury item. For example, tattoos show what kind of status you have in some ways in society. Like if you have, it's almost like a ranking system. It's very strange to say that, but it's a different thing, extremely different from like everybody have a tattoo today, everybody. And so it's more like you get a tattoo because it's almost like you buy a Rolex clock, or you buy some nice shoes or nice car. It's almost like that, and almost like that standard. For example, if you go to a professional, super good tattoo artist, it's almost like you buy a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce. It's like it's almost like it's totally different shape of a beast. Is totally different today. It's not as it was before, that you have to kill a grizzly bear, or you have to defeat go into a village and kill some of them, and to get a face tattoo, like the example of the Maori, or the scarification of some African tribes. Is very different how you get the tattoo. It's not like you have to fight something. You have to climb a mountain to get, just to even be allowed to have this kind of tattoo, and this kind of thing. So it's totally different today. Today is just to go to a store, you pay the money, and you get the tattoo. It's a totally different story today. Yeah, in some cases that is maybe good. In other cases, it's bit. How can I say it? It's like I like extreme. I really like tattoos because I have tattoos. I like tattoos. It's just that is very I don't want to say single-minded, but it's very. It's almost like you are inside a big box, and the box have the names in the box, and the box, and you don't gonna really, you don't, you have, it's very one type or one trick pony in some sense of the word. Yeah, it's like that. It's, for example, it's very much like you don't. So I say my other video with the problem with the tattoo industry, with when I talk about when you show different, you don't, when you show tattoos, you most of the time show tattoos on people with lighter skin tones, and you obviously you find many good tattoo artists. You can see Instagram with like dark body art show. This Instagram post takes picture took in different tattoo artists with make tattoos on darker skin tone, and this kind of thing. And it's very that's what I mean, very single-minded. It's very much like you only take one type of a customers, and the other type is not as represented, represented as the other ones. So often if you go to a tattoo artist like this, because of this kind of thing spreads, is because if more tattoo artists makes diversity, makes take picture of different clients with different skin tones, white, black, dark, brown, and put on the Instagram post, the more people that more and more see that. For example, especially if you are a big company like InkMag, if you show more diversity, more people will see that is other tattoo artists, and they say, aha, okay, maybe that will work, and so on and so on. So that will almost spread. If you just show one type of customers with very, very light skin, people gonna copy that and still continue with it, the old thing. And the strange thing here is that originally, most of the time, not everything, not all, is that tattoos was originally from the places that people have darker skin tone, and they are in Europe and so on. And this can be, so it's very interesting that because it's a big trend today with tattoos, is that it's almost like the model industry. Like a long time was in modesty, there was people that were very slim body, very, very light skin. Also that have changed today. You have different variety with modeling, with different skin tone. But especially with tattoos, is that it's very, very much like that. If you look at tattoo portfolios, most of the time you're gonna see people with light skin on their portfolio. Obviously you can find people with darker skin on different portfolio, but it's not as much in comparison with people with lighter skin tone. And that's what I mean when the video before this one is what I mean with the problem with industry, is that there is something that is problem. Okay, I absolutely understand that some colors will not work on some skin tone, but that is just some color. That does not mean every color. And obviously it's different between the size and how big the tattoo is, what is the contrast with the different colors, how will you make that ink pop up much better on the skin, and so on and so on, and the line work. And this is what I mean with this whole thing, is that you cannot, just because you cannot, you cannot do the same light color if you do on light skin. You have to always do the compromise the colors to make it work. For example, like if I have green on my skin, the green that will work best on my skin is lime green, that dark lime green, because that green is darker than my skin, my skin, and that will heal much better on the skin. So obviously, if I want to have yellow, I cannot just make it only yellow. I maybe have to have green first, like a green snake, and I can have yellow on the snake, because then it works, because this is green is darker than the yellow, so the yellow will stick up, because you have the dark background to the light, and so on. You have almost like a 3 layers, like your skin, the first tattoo, and the second color. Two ink color, then your skin color, and this kind of thing. So that is not a complicated thing to understand. It's a very interesting. It's not complicated. It's just to